We need to think this way. We need to. And this is why these people stay ahead of the curve. This is why people like Freddie Mercury, Alice Cooper, and anybody who's making anything out of what their passion is going to create that success because they've done it differently, because they've stepped outside of the box, not just thought. Like the first step, of course, is like we got to start thinking and expanding the way.
Mindset is everything. And I call that the mindset for success, which I've been teaching since my 20s. So for over 40 years. Well, there's skills in education, which they must have, and they were training at my school. But if they didn't have the mindset for success and they doubted themselves, and there's like, I can't go compete in New York or LA, well, then it's not going to work. But 100% of my people that I would take to these big events did get picked up by larger agencies. So it is mindset that gets you to the next level of where you want to be, despite what your career goals are.
When we're thinking about, you got to think outside of the box before you can take that step. Your knee-jerk reaction is to keep yourself safe. And what is safe is usually what you've seen happen over and over again. But if that isn't leading you to where you want to go, you need to start doing things differently, which can feel really safe. So how can you switch from your comfort zone into this space of potential growth and possibility, which, granted, is different?
You have to find out what you like to do in marketing and go with what feels best for you and your message and your product.
If you are tired of this outdated, soul-sucking marketing advice that you're being given by these marketing gurus every single day, then same. I'm tired of it too. This is an opportunity for us to have a discussion about how out-of-the-box marketing thinking can lead to your inevitable success. And if you want the proof to back up that pudding, that's why we have Rihanna here today. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, why this topic matters to her, and why it should matter to you. Rihanna, welcome to the show.
Hi, Shauna. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and hello, everyone. Well, I've done numerous jobs throughout my lifetime, many. It goes back to when I was 26 years old and opened up a model and talent agency in school in the small town of Erie, Pennsylvania. So how did I get my people on the map? And within 6 months, won the International Award for Educational Excellence, and within 1 year, won the Model and Talent School of the Year internationally. Well, it's called out-of-the-box thinking. And this was a topic I actually taught in my 20s at Gannon University for professional development courses for adults. And so this is something I learned many years ago working for a radio guru, Mr. Gene Vassell at WFIL Radio, the top radio station in Philadelphia, where I was blessed to be a promotional model and work with top entertainers at the time. For example, dancing on stage with Freddie Mercury at the night of the opera concert, picking up Alice Cooper at the airport, things like this, that I learned how to think outside of the box. And this is something I've been using my entire life in business. Today, for over 26 years, I've been a licensed mental health counselor, internationally known life, love, trauma recovery, and mindset coach, a #1 best-selling author. I have 13 books out there now, and my podcast is called Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Rihanna Milne. So not only do I do this method of out-of-the-box thinking, but I teach my clients to do that in whatever career goal that they have for themselves. And I was a single mom for many years, raising 2 daughters, and I did not have an advertising budget. For the talent school, for example, I would get our classes to do a charity event for graduation. And because it was a donation to, let's say, Humane Society, Rape Crisis Center, other events that needed our funds, they were able to get on television, and we got newspaper press for free. And this is when newspapers were back and popular, and that got me free advertising, and it got the models and actors credits for their resume. So it was a win-win-win for everyone, and it got people to show up at our events. So that's just one small example before the internet even existed, how out-of-the-box thinking works.
I love that, to bits and pieces. I mean, if you only said that you were hanging out with Freddie Mercury and Alice Cooper, then anybody who knows something about that world would know that you're thinking out of the box. Like, who is Alice anyway? So, I mean, let's be real. I love that to bits and pieces, and I can just like vibe here. I'm like, yes, Freddie, let's go. We need to think this way. We need to. And this is why these people stay ahead of the curve. This is why people like Freddie Mercury, Alice Cooper, and anybody who's making anything out of what their passion is going to create that success, because they've done it differently. Because they've stepped outside of the box, not just thought. Like, the first step, of course, is like we got to start thinking and expanding the way.
Yes, mindset is everything. And I call that the mindset for success, which I've been teaching since my 20s, so for over 40 years. Because these model singers, actors, dancers from Erie, PA wanted to make it in LA, New York, and around the world as models. How do you do that? Well, there's skills and education, which they must have, and they were training at my school. But if they didn't have the mindset for success and they doubted themselves, and there's like, I can't go compete in New York or LA, well, then it's not going to work. But 100% of my people that I would take to these big events did get picked up by larger agencies. So it is mindset that gets you to the next level of where you want to be, despite what your career goals are.
That's beautiful. And this is actually something that I was going to ask you about, is because when we're thinking about, because as I said, you got to think outside of the box before you can take that step. You want to, your knee-jerk reaction is to keep yourself safe. And what is safe is usually what you've seen happen over and over again. But if that isn't leading you to where you want to go, you need to start doing things differently, which can feel really safe. So how can you switch from, your comfort zone into this space of potential growth and possibility, which, granted, is different? How can you make that switch?
Well, you have to find out what you like to do in marketing and go with what feels best for you and your message and your product. So I'm an internationally known coach. I've appeared on over 15 magazine covers with feature articles, including Forbes, Wealth Insider, Disrupt, Influencer Daily, Vogue Daily, Woman's Journal, and so on. So how did I get there? From opening a practice in year 2000 as a therapist to an internationally known coach, and also voted as one of the top 100 successful women in the world. And I'm in that book. So how did that all happen? Well, I never really liked social media, so it sure didn't happen that way. Do I have a presence there? Yes, I post there. Do I hang on there all day and chat with people? No, I don't go into Facebook groups because I don't have time. I'm working with clients or I'm writing the next book. So that was never my jam. So what did I do differently? Well, I love broadcasting. My degree from Penn State's in broadcast communication. So I did a podcast. And then my goal was 100 shows. And I said, once I do 100 shows, I'll guest on other people's podcasts and take a break. So that's where I am now. So in total, over the years, I've been on over 500 podcasts. And from there, I got picked up for summits. And summits are a gathering of experts, usually an expert a day, from either 2 weeks to 30 days. And I was always able to get on day 1, 2, or 3, because the research shows a lot of people just kind of burn out and don't keep listening as
100%.
it goes on. So I have done a lot of those. So it's really through my speaking that I get my clients. That is my area of expertise. Do I have an email list? Yes. I either mail them once a week. Podcast Friday, a show that I'm on, and your show will be mailed out, Shauna, to help my host. And that's a win-win for both of us. So I'm always looking for the win-win of whatever I do for my clients, the person I'm collaborating with, and for myself and my business growth.
That makes so much sense. And this in and of itself is a really great example of thinking outside of the box. And people who are joining us today for this conversation may not have thought about it that way as you were describing it, but I want to just shed a little bit of light on this. A lot of times what you're hearing in just everywhere, because most people are on social media in some capacity. I'm in your boat, Rihanna. I don't hang out there. I don't have that kind of time. I may not be as prolific as you are. However, I do have 3 young children and they keep me busy. So I don't have the time to be on there.
Exactly.
But the power behind what you said, really, and the way that you've diverged, is that the general practice being preached online is that you have to be everywhere all the time, turned on, go, 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 go. That is not the way to be. And what you really have said here is very powerful, is how simplicity is what's going to help you to accelerate into the next level of your
And
success.
it's what you enjoy, right? So I
Yes.
love writing. So I'm a #1 best-selling author of Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. One's about the mindset for success, live beyond your dreams. And Love Beyond Your Dreams is about finding emotionally healthy love. And they were #1 bestsellers on Amazon, and their sister books meant to go together. And from there, I have done ebooks after that. So I'll put out a new ebook, like the one we're going to tell our listeners about at the end of the show that they can get for free. And I'll give it free for a period of time, and then it goes into my library, and I'll put a charge on it. But this way, it keeps me giving to my audience. It brings new leads in. It's something that I love to do, and I know I'm really great at, writing or speaking on shows. So I do what I enjoy, because I've been doing this 26 years. So if you don't enjoy your marketing, you're not going to enjoy your business, right? So
You're not going to do it. Let's be
right,
real. If you don't enjoy it, you won't do it. And if you
yeah,
kind of try to do it, you're not going to do it well.
true.
And then it's not going to work. And then you're going to go, I wonder why this isn't working. It's because you didn't listen to Coach Rihanna and Shauna when they were having a great time talking about that beautiful Venn diagram that I usually talk about here, is that idea of find what you love to do that really lights you on fire.
Yeah.
Find what's going to resonate with your ideal audience.
Yes.
Put that overlap and work in that space. That's the gold. That Venn diagram will solve a lot of your issues and simplify and get you into the headspace that's necessary to really elevate yourself in your life and your business.
Yeah, Shauna, I was going to mention, like, who is your avatar and where do they hang out? My avatar is a lot like me, busy professional women. And I am now engaged, but I was single and I was busy with my business, but I wanted emotionally healthy love. So where are those people? We're not hanging on social media. We don't have time, so they will listen to a podcast on the way to work or a summit when the topic really resonates. So who is your audience? Where do they ideally hang out? And be realistic. No, we're not hanging on Instagram and scrolling for hours. We don't have that. We're working and doing something more creative. So that's my client, successful in business, struggles in love, and they want that love relationship and just more balance and happiness in life, because they become so work oriented. So who is your client? What messages do they need? Just be real, down to earth. And I always say I may be internationally known, but I'm small town service. So anyone can email me and I answer my emails. I'm not one that has 15 people who are staff. I don't believe in that. I'm a therapist, right? So if someone's struggling and want to talk to me about anxiety or depression, I want that email. No one else should be reading that. So I answer everyone that writes me. So that's small town service. And to me, that was always something that resonated with the coaches that I've hired. Like, can I reach them? Can I ask them a question that I really need to clarify an assignment? So, be small town, be service oriented. Don't, block yourself by 10 people and then, you're up on this pedestal. No, we've all been, I've been where my clients have been in the past. I understand their pain and I am there to help them through the process to create the life they desire and then have the love they deserve. And it is a 2-step process, but the first step is healing the emotional trauma they experience. So childhood trauma always leads to love trauma. So if you've had toxic relationships over and over again, that's clearly saying your childhood trauma was never healed. So step 1, healing the childhood trauma. Step 2, understanding where it's impacting you in life, love, and business. And then number 3, designing the goals that you want for your future, and let's make those happen.
Oh, perfect. If nobody had a pen out, you should have. So rewind and write down your 1, 2, 3, because those are the next steps so that you can take in order to really, I just see it as like an opening up, a blossoming, a blooming, so to speak, into your fullest self. Now, before we keep diving into that, though, I'm curious about something, because this is, when you said it right at the beginning, you mentioned something about not having a marketing budget.
Yeah.
And
never
that,
did.
right?
Still
And
that's 6 years later.
Yeah. And so we need to get creative. So that's the other part of this whole like mindset shift, is like, how can we get creative? Sure. We just said to do the thing that you love to do. That's in alignment with the people who you need to reach. Sure. That's fine and dandy. But in the end, we also need to consider our budget in a number of different ways, not just money, but also like time, your bandwidth, your energy.
Right.
So you leveraged something really creative in these charities and these fundraisers. Can you, just off the top of your head, maybe think of some of these other examples that people can get creative with their budget, whether it's with time, money, or bandwidth?
Yeah, I mean, being a single mom, I didn't have a marketing budget. So I'm there, what can I do right now to create something? I've tried Google ads and all the ads, Facebook ads, they never work for me. Zero zip return. So I'm like, did it, tried it. No, thank you. I tried having an app on the phone. I was one of the first coaches to have an app on the phone, which was fun and pretty cool, but didn't get me the response I wanted. So I stopped doing that. So, some people get so freaked out with what they call failure, but I call failure feedback. So it isn't really failure. It's like, okay, that didn't work. What's next? So again, just keep moving forward. Don't let anything, stymie you into this panic state of, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Do what you love. Mine was writing and speaking. Okay. Did I want to travel all over to speak on stages? No, I like the convenience of home, being able to work with my clients. So, the whole internet, speaking virtually was perfect for me. And that's how I see all my clients, is virtually now since 2017. So, try something, but don't keep going don't go into debt to do something to launch your business. Just because Google ad works for some people, like my daughter and son-in-law, that works great, but I'm not putting out $5,000 to maybe get a result.
Yeah.
I was not in that, stage many years ago when I started my business. I was supporting my daughters. So, you do what you can do, but do it well and do what you love. Always giving a free gift. Now I have 7 free things. I think the last time I counted, now I have an AI chat bot that will answer any questions that you're struggling with. And it's all in my voice. And I created my chat box. I got my AI clone where I talk in different languages, which is pretty cool. So embrace new technology. What's new that you can learn, and it keeps you growing and staying progressive with the rest of the market. The 4 free love tests. People are like, well, I don't have childhood trauma. It's like, take the childhood trauma checklist. Yes, you do. 100% of us have childhood trauma. So find out what yours is, and then they can go and take it for free. And that gives them feedback. Oh, wow, I didn't realize, because I had some abandonment issues when my dad happened to die early, that I'm chasing men to be loved and accepted. Okay, so these are things that are so interrelated, and that then helps us have the dialogue of what is going on for you and how can we correct what you're struggling with, right? So they take the 4 love tests, we discuss them. The discovery session is done with me, not an assistant. It's all with me. And then I have the podcast that is free, and my ebooks that are free that I come out with. The blog, so there's always something. Free book chapter downloads of Live and Love on my website, Beyond Your Dream Books. So give away what your expertise is so people understand it. Because I was fighting, I don't get childhood trauma. I was one of the first to speak on it in 2015 on podcasts. They're like, well, what is that? Like, I don't really get it. And since I have a triple master's in psychology, it was never mentioned in the psychology classes when I graduated by year 2000. So it's something I did a lot of research on. As a single mom, I had a lot of jobs. I worked in mental health units for kids aged 5 to 19. I worked with women from the prison system aged 16 to 70. I worked in teen rehab centers in the schools. I was a crises counselor with the emotionally upset students. So all these different populations, plus my private practice, showed repeatedly these top 10 traumas that were blocking people's success.
Right.
It does block them in business.
Yeah,
like you said,
absolutely.
are you afraid to do something, or because you failed, you're like, I don't want to do it again, or it won't work for me mentality.
Right. You get trapped in that fear. Absolutely. What's interesting about what you're saying is that I'm hearing a really cool combination of things. The first thing, actually, truly, it was the last thing that you started to say here, is about how all of the things that you've done throughout your life matter, are valid, and are applicable to what you're doing now. So don't forget about that. Don't just let all those things float around thinking that they're negligible. They aren't. They will influence everything that you're doing today. So let them, process them. Use Rihanna. Let yourself process the shit that you're carrying, right? But also, like, acknowledge them, become aware of them, and let them fuel what you're creating. It adds depth and power to all that you're doing. And this is the other part of it, is that it allows you to step beyond fear, and it allows you to step into that creativity, that playfulness, and that ability to gain feedback when you experiment with what might work and what might not work within the realm of what lights you on fire, what is passionate to you.
Your passion.
And of course, like you say, well, you didn't use these words, but I will paraphrase: put parameters on yourself. Step into your passion while honoring the budget of your bandwidth, your finances, and of course, your time. Making sure that you're living in reality. I speak of that all the time. We need to have 2 feet set here in reality while our vision projects into the future of our success.
Yeah,
Now,
there's a lesson from my father I would love to share. He always said, "Hun, if you do the 8 Ds, you can do anything." It was actually 5 Ds, and I added 3 more.
All right, lay it on me.
This is a lesson I learned as a teenager, and it still was what holds me accountable and keeps me going. So the 8 Ds for success are: decide what it is that you want to do. Desire. You have to desire it more than anything else, more than going out with the girls on the weekends, this and that. When I was writing my books, I stayed in. Well, where are you? Why aren't you coming out? Well, I'm writing. I decided and I desire to do this more. Determination. When people doubt you, you're determined to do it anyway. The next one is dedication, right? You have to be dedicated. Wake up. What am I going to write about today? What am I going to create today? Devotion is the spiritual component. I really feel spirituality is a huge component of success. Do you have faith in yourself? And God's got my back, so he's going to help me to help others, right? So the devotion piece is spiritual. I do meditate every day on what it is that I desire. And then he's there, and dare to dream, baby, and dream big. So that was his last one, but then I added a couple more. Drive. You got to have the drive. You know, I have many days when I was creating my online school. Took about 4 or 5 months, but it was uploading so much and writing so much that I was working 15, 16-hour days, you know, and that drive kept me going, and so did the discipline. Yeah. So those are the 8 Ds for success. And if you stay with that, you know, and you have that personality, waking up with 3 goals a day. What is it I'm going to do today? This, and this. And if I have time, I'll do this and this. So every day in my mind, I like to have a quiet morning, because that's what's going on in my mind. I have to do this first and that, then this, or I want to research that and come out with that topic because this is new and upsetting for the world right now. So I want to get some research on this, you know. So it's always, what can I do today?
That makes a lot of sense. I love that so much. And in fact, this is going to make it my next question a little bit challenging, because you just completely blew my mind. Not that anything was new, but just like I love how concise and it's just right here, your 8 Ds, and you got it.
Yeah.
I love that to bits and pieces. Now, this said, I'm going to give you a minute. Outside of that humongous, amazing bucket of gold you just dropped on us, is there something else, some little cherry on top, something action oriented that you could share with our audience today that would help them take the next step towards their success, understanding that all of these things that we discussed today influence what those next steps look like?
Yeah.
Now, before you let people know, I do want to remind everybody that these conversations happen every single week. This is one of the best opportunities for you to join in the conversation and learn from experts just like Rihanna, and really ask the questions that you want to ask, because we're here. Like you said, Rihanna, we're actually doing the messaging. We're actually responding to the emails. We want to see you succeed. So hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below, let us know what you think, and if you have any further questions that you want us to dive into. Now, with that, Rihanna, I'm going to give you the stage. You go ahead and share with the people.
Send it to Shauna, she'll get it to me, or just email me, rihanna.milne@gmail.com. It's real simple. You know, look over your life and see what resonated with you. We all have gone through painful times in our journey. You take your pain and make it your purpose and your passion. Because if you're struggling, other people are too. What is it that lights you up, that makes you happy, and what can you do that is different from everybody else? Here's an example. When I was a therapist, people came to see me. They could bring their dog. They could come in their pajamas. They walked in. There was like stereo soft music on the television. There was gourmet coffees and chocolates. That no other therapist that I know was doing that. And everyone loved coming to my office because it was their 1 hour of escape. Okay, so what is different that you can present to your clients? Me, like I said, I'm an international coach, but I'm one of the few that does everything herself. I do have a team for a website and creating a funnel, but other than that, I do all the work myself. I write all my books myself because I really care. And people know that I am the compassionate counselor and coach that cares. So just have that in your messaging. Just be real. It's not about 100 posts a week on social media and Facebook and this and that. And that might work for you. And if it does, great. Find 1 or 2 marketing methods that resonates with you, that you enjoy doing, that gets your message out to your avatars, to your people, the clients you're trying to reach, and enjoy the journey. That's what it's about.
I love that. And why don't you tell everybody what they can find when they follow the QR code on the page?
Oh, sure. This is my website. It's simple. My name, RihannaMilne.com. Right now, I just put out an ebook, a new one. This is number 14, The Mindset for Success. Go from surviving to thriving in life, love, and business. So it's all about personal transformation. You can get it free for a very limited period of time. So get on there, download it, enjoy it, share it. If you know someone else that's struggling with mindset, if you're struggling psychologically with mental health or in business or with a love partner, reach out to me, RihannaMilne@gmail. It's really easy to find me. And I'm here. I've been helping people for over 26 years now. And if I can help you, I'd be very honored.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it to bits and pieces. Now, if you haven't already gone to the website and downloaded the book, because it's free, for a little bit of time anyways, I strongly suggest that you do so, because these types of downloads are just, they make everything different. When you know you've got someone like Rihanna in your corner, when you know you've got people backing you for all of the amazingly unique ideas that you have, thinking outside of the box, living to your fullest potential, no limitations. I strongly suggest you go check it out. The link is also in the show notes. And with that, I want to thank you, Rihanna, for joining us today on this conversation.
Thank you, Shauna.
So good.
Thank you. I also wanted to mention I have a business coaching page. So if you need help in growing your business, go there. There's a free ebook on that page too about how to become a internationally known coach. So if I have anybody in that business, go help yourself. It's on my website under coaching and mentoring. And I do that as well. So again, thank you for having me on. And today is the day. Start creating that life you desire and having the love you deserve.
Yes. All right. This is the perfect moment. This is the perfect moment. I need to say no more. So join us next week. See you later.